Hey everyone, you're trying to catch someone's eye. Someone you really like. You did everything possible, being super nice and even putting your own needs aside just to show them your value and get them to pick you. But instead, they turned you down, started pulling away, and ignored you, making you feel like you didn't matter. So, you decided to go quiet, maybe even walked away and disappeared from their life. So, you might be sitting there wishing they'll finally notice you. Or maybe you've found your own independence and are really enjoying it. Either way, you're in this no-contact phase, and staying strong is tough. You've already made the brave move to pull back your energy and show them you won't be taken for granted. But now that feeling of wanting to reach out is creeping in. You're tempted to send just one last message or make one last call, hoping they'll finally see what they lost. But before you mess up all your hard work, just hang in there. Can I ask you something? Have you become so caught up in your feelings for them that you've forgotten how they treated you? Take a moment to step back and really think about it. They've ignored your feelings, overlooked your worth, and acted like you were just convenient for them. And you know what? They're still going on with their lives, not giving a single thought to your feelings, your worth, or what you've sacrificed. So why are you still worrying about theirs? Seriously, ask yourself this. Why should they care about you, your worth, or your value if you don't even recognize it yourself? Ask yourself, why would they respect your boundaries if you're willing to break them just to get a little bit of their attention? The truth is, if you reach out now and fall back into old habits, you're not putting yourself first. You're throwing away all the strength it took to walk away. If they're not choosing you, then I have to ask, are you choosing yourself? Are you recognizing your true value? Because if you're ready to give it all up just for a moment of validation, that's a big problem. So, it's a definite no. Embrace this challenge right now and say it with me, everyone. I choose myself over contact. Don't just say it, believe it. Lock it in your memory and make it your truth. Seriously, write it down once and for all. Do it in the comments, put it out there for everyone to see. Let them know where you stand, and more importantly, remind yourself. Don't hold back. Declare it loud and clear. I choose myself over contact. Own it, and let's keep moving forward. Take a cue from the wise Robert T. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that doesn't help you grow or make you happy. Think about it. If they don't appreciate your worth, leaving isn't a loss. It's a win. When you choose yourself, something amazing happens. People start to notice the value you've always had. By walking away and standing your ground, you set a standard that commands respect. You're no longer just an option. They start to see you as someone worth fighting for. Because you finally realized it in yourself first. I know you're feeling that urge to reach out, but you're sticking to this no-contact thing. I'm here to share a powerful Stoic lesson with you today. You'll learn some Stoic secrets that can help you stay strong during this tough time using simple but effective strategies. These aren't just about self-control. They subtly change the vibe, making them feel the impact of your absence and realize what they've lost. Stick with me here, because these tips will help you stay strong and might even grab their attention in a way that words just can't. First off, trust the path you've chosen. Seriously, the first thing you need to do right now is to believe in your decision and never underestimate the power of going no contact. It's totally normal to have those nagging thoughts like, what if they move on? Or what if they don't come back? But that doubt is exactly what makes so many people break no contact and send that last desperate message. If you're waiting for a response, that doubt and fear are what's really keeping you from finding true strength and growing. If you're unsure if this is the right choice, think about what all that chasing, begging, and trying to prove your worth has done for you. Did it make them see how valuable you are? Did it make them appreciate you more? Probably not. It just pushed them away. Going no contact is about taking back the power and control you gave up when you put them before yourself. So let that idea go. This journey is for you and your growth. You're healing your self-respect. Remember, if they can't see your worth now that you're giving them space, reaching out won't change that. When we're always around, we just become background noise in their lives. Giving them no contact lets them feel the silence and the emptiness where your energy used to be. They start to realize your absence and notice something important is missing. Your silence makes them confront what they've lost, face the consequences of their actions, and finally see your value. Your worth is all about you. I know you care about them, and being apart feels tough. It's a struggle, I get it. But by sticking to no contact, you're really choosing yourself. You're giving them the chance to see how much you matter. And more importantly, you're making room for yourself to grow and discover strengths you didn't even know you had. When you stand your ground, you're showing them you're not someone who needs to seek anyone's approval. You're complete and valuable just as you are, and that's where your confidence comes from. All right, here's a little something to keep you grounded. I trust my path. Say it with me, write it down, keep it in your head, and let it push out any doubts. If you're ready to really commit to trusting your own strength, drop it in the comments. I trust my path. You're not just hanging in there during this no contact phase, you're taking control. This is just the start, so hang in there. Each step you take is building the foundation for the new you. Stick to this path, and not only will you notice your own strength and growth, but others will start to notice it too. This journey is just getting started, and now the power is in your hands. So hang tight with me, because the real magic of this video is just about to kick in. Next, we're going to explore a powerful technique that will really boost your determination during no contact. Guys, pay attention to how crucial this step is and how much I get what you're going through. I'm here to create solutions that are just right for your situation. But here's the deal. A lot of you are tuning in and getting this advice, but not hitting that like button. Honestly, it stings a little. I'm pouring everything I have into helping you, and it's super easy to show some love by just hitting that thumbs up. So please, if you're getting something out of this, hit that like button and let's keep pushing forward together. Next up, try the mirror challenge. This technique I mentioned is called the mirror challenge, and trust me, it's going to make a huge difference. You might be wondering what looking in a mirror has to do with staying strong during no contact. Well, it's more connected than you think. The mirror challenge isn't just about self-reflection. It's about recognizing your true worth and freeing yourself from needing validation from anyone else, especially the person you're trying to attract. Here's a simple truth. The only person you're really responsible for is the one looking back at you. You have control over your mind, not the stuff happening around you. Once you get that, you'll find your strength. The mirror challenge is all about building that strength little by little until you recognize how powerful and valuable you really are. Each day, stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and ask if you're giving yourself the respect you deserve. It's not just a quick look. Take a moment to really see yourself. Notice the determination on your face and the strength in your eyes. Talk to yourself with the respect you deserve. Show kindness to yourself like you would to a good friend. Recognize the tough times you're going through and remind yourself that you're enough, just as you are. Picture this. When you look in the mirror, instead of focusing on your flaws, you see your resilience and strength. You start to notice the person who has faced so much but is still standing strong. That's the real power of this mirror challenge. It's not about being vain, it's about reminding yourself that you don't need anyone else's approval to recognize your own value. I know some of you might be thinking, talking to myself in the mirror, that's crazy. And yeah, it might feel a bit weird at first. You might even catch yourself laughing, which honestly isn't a bad thing. Humor can really help ease the awkwardness and make things feel more doable. Embrace that discomfort. Every time you do this, you're teaching your mind to see yourself in a new light and believe in your own worth. But hey, if you struggle to say nice things to yourself, what if that self-doubt starts creeping in, whispering, "Who are you kidding?" This is where Stoic wisdom comes in. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that the hardest battles are often the ones we fight inside ourselves. Epicurus said, "First, tell yourself who you want to be, then go out and do what you need to do." You're not just pretending to be strong or worthy. You're practicing it until it feels natural. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a priceless piece of art. Every day, when you look in the mirror, you're checking your own value. An appraiser checking out a masterpiece wouldn't think a Van Gogh or Da Vinci painting needs someone else's approval to be valuable. Its worth is built in, just like yours. You're priceless, one of a kind, and complete, no matter what anyone else thinks. The mirror challenge is about understanding that your value isn't determined by anyone else. When you're not in contact with someone, it's easy to crave their validation. The mirror challenge turns that around. By practicing daily self-affirmation, you're reminding yourself of your worth. You don't need anyone's attention to feel valuable. Your worth doesn't go down just because someone else doesn't see it. In fact, when you start to see yourself in a new light, others will notice the change too. People are attracted to those who respect themselves. Once you stop seeking validation and start showing your self-worth, the world will take notice. Even that person you're not reaching out to will feel the difference. They'll start to wonder why you seem so steady and grounded, and they'll definitely feel the impact of that. Your silence hits even harder. Here's something you can say every day. When you look in the mirror, tell yourself, "I am my own source of strength." Say it out loud, even if it feels weird at first. Own it. Write it down if you have to. If you're ready to make this commitment, drop it in the comments. I am my own source of strength. This isn't just a saying, it's a statement of independence from needing approval. The mirror challenge isn't just a one-off, it's something you do every day. It's a practice that builds your inner strength. Some days, it might feel super easy, and other days, you might find it hard to see your own worth. But every day you practice, you're reminding yourself of the important truth. Your value isn't up for discussion. You're not doing this for anyone else. You're doing it for you, and the results will show for themselves. Stick with me, because to really nail this no-contact phase, you need to follow all 8 steps. They'll change how you approach things and give you the strength you need. So if you think, you can skip any of these, but remember that each one builds on the others, creating a strong foundation of resilience and self-worth. It's tough to shake off. This mirror challenge alone will give you clarity and confidence, but it's just the start. Together, these steps are meant to help you reclaim your power and stand strong like never before. Number 3, live with purpose, not for validation. Now, let's dive into one of the most powerful steps in this journey, learning to live with purpose, not for others. When you're not in touch with someone, it's easy to start thinking about whether they're paying attention to you, if they miss you, or if they even notice that you're gone. But here's the tough reality. When you start looking for their approval, you're basically giving away your happiness and self-worth to them. Once you let go of that need, you get all your power back. Living with purpose will do two amazing things for you. First, it'll help you really flourish during this no-contact time, giving you the inner strength you need. Stay grounded, and it'll show your true value, making people realize what they've missed out on, often making them come back to you. Just think about how strong it is when you live with purpose. You radiate confidence and strength that others can't overlook. You're not the one waiting anymore. You're the one choosing your own path. Living with purpose is all about focusing on what motivates you from the inside, not worrying about what others think. It's about creating a life that's so meaningful and focused that you stop seeking approval from anyone. Don't worry about what others think. Like Epicurus said, if you want to get better, be okay with looking foolish sometimes. What he meant is that you should live for yourself, not for other people's opinions. Real growth and purpose often happen inside and aren't always obvious to others. Think about it. You go to the gym not to show off, but because you have your own goals to get stronger, healthier, or more disciplined. That feeling of satisfaction after a workout, that's all yours, driven by your own purpose. You're not doing this for anyone else's approval. It's a promise you make to yourself, and that's what gives it real power. Living with purpose builds an inner strength that stays strong even when people come and go, when they don't text you back, or when they overlook what you're doing. On the flip side, living for validation is like trying to build a house on quicksand. The moment you lose someone's approval, your self-worth crumbles. It's tiring, draining, and leaves you feeling empty. But when you focus on living with purpose, you set yourself free. Break free from that cycle and find a source of fulfillment that no one can take away from you. You might be thinking, but I still care about what others think of me, and that's totally normal. This is where Stoic wisdom comes into play. The Stoics believed in the power of detachment, not to become cold or indifferent, but to let go of the hold that external validation has on us. Living with purpose means your self-worth isn't tied to how others see you. It's based on your own beliefs, values, and goals. So, how do you start living with purpose? Start by figuring out what really matters to you. Is it personal growth, health, creativity, or relationships that lift you up? Make a list of the things that bring you joy and give you a sense of purpose, without worrying about what anyone else thinks. Every day, spend a little time on one of those areas. You'll see that as your sense of purpose gets stronger, you won't need validation as much. Living with purpose also makes you more appealing. Yes, even to that person you haven't reached out to lately. You're attracted to people who have a solid foundation, who don't let every little opinion or rejection get to them. When you have a purpose, you give off confidence and strength. Instead of worrying about whether others notice you, you'll be too busy focusing on your own growth to even think about it. Funny enough, that's usually when they start to see the change in you. But what if you're still looking for validation? What if you keep checking your phone, hoping they'll message you? That's where discipline kicks in. Just remind yourself that every moment spent seeking that approval. Approval is a moment when you could be out there building something real. Instead of chasing validation, start investing in what really matters to you. When you feel that urge for approval, let it remind you to take steps toward your goals. As Marcus Aurelius said, stop wasting time debating what it means to be a good person. Just be one. Don't look to others to see your worth. Show it to yourself by living with integrity, purpose, and intention. You'll find that having this direction not only brings you peace, but also it helps you bounce back from other people's opinions. Here's a little affirmation for you. I live with purpose, not for approval. Say it, write it down, own it. And if you're ready to commit, Drop it in the comments. I live with purpose, not for approval. Let this be your mantra as you navigate this phase and beyond. Living with purpose isn't just about going no contact. It's a way to take back control of your life. When you live like this, you're not sitting around waiting for someone to notice you, choose you, or validate you. You're too busy creating a life that you love. Matches your values and goals. You're creating a foundation that nobody can take away from you, no matter who comes or goes in your life. And hey, we're almost halfway through the video. I really appreciate you sticking around. Make sure to hang tight until the end so you can really get the full picture. If you have any questions or a different take on things, drop a comment below. And if everything makes sense so far, smash that like button because this video definitely deserves it. Number 4, accept reality as it is. Alright everyone, this next part is going to be tough, but it's really important. You need to accept reality as it is. When you're not in contact, it's easy to let your mind drift off, dreaming up scenarios where they're missing you, regretting their choices, or just a text away from reaching out. But here's the hard truth. You've got to face reality, not the version you wish it was. Accepting things doesn't mean you're giving up hope. It's about staying grounded in the present so you can actually move forward instead of living in a fantasy. Right now, the reality is this. They're not here, they're not calling, they're not texting, and they're not showing up like you wanted them to. It hurts, but there's also a sense of freedom in it. When you come to terms with this reality, you stop wasting energy on what-ifs and maybes. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, don't try to force things to go your way. Instead, hope that whatever happens unfolds as it should. That's when you'll find happiness. Acceptance is your key to peace, not because everything's perfect, but because you're strong enough to handle it. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and seeing your life exactly as it is right now. No filters, no dreams of how it could be, just the plain truth. It might be tough to look at, maybe even a little painful, but it's real. And here's the thing. When you accept things as they are, you can finally focus on what you can control. You can stop wishing for changes, stop waiting for things to be different, and start taking charge of your own future. Now, some of you might be thinking, but if I accept just because they're gone, doesn't mean you're giving up. It's about choosing peace instead of chasing a fantasy. It's about respecting your own time, energy, and self-worth enough to stop waiting for something that might never happen. By accepting reality, you're making space for growth, new connections, and figuring yourself out. You're allowing yourself to live a life that isn't tied to someone else's decisions. Acceptance is hard, but it's also what helps you bounce back. Whenever you find yourself thinking about what could have been, bring yourself back to what really matters. Every bit of energy you spend dwelling on the past is energy you're taking away from building your future. You're not here just to wait around, you're here to live. That starts with accepting where you are right now. If you're struggling with that, remember that facing the truth is the bravest thing you can do. Running from reality just keeps you stuck, replaying the same story again and again. But as soon as you face the truth, no matter how hard it is, you break free from the cycle of false hope. Finally, able to see things clearly and make choices that actually help you, not some fantasy of what could happen. Like Marcus or Ius wisely said, you have control over your mind, not the things happening around you. Realize this, and you'll find your strength. It's all about taking charge of your life, staying grounded in the present, and trusting that your power comes from facing whatever life throws at you directly. So here's a little affirmation for you. I accept reality and find strength in the truth. Say it, own it, and let it be a reminder. You don't have to live in a fantasy or keep looking back to feel at peace. If you're ready to commit, let me know in the comments. I embrace reality and find strength in the truth. When you accept what is real, you take control of your life. You stop letting others dictate how you live and start creating a future based on strength, resilience, and honesty. So stick around. Don't even think about clicking away. You need to stay because every step here matters and every insight counts. Building on what we talked about last time, this acceptance is just the start. The steps ahead will bring you even closer to feeling confident, clear, and worthy. Keep pushing forward. You're creating something unstoppable. Number 5, reverse your attention. All right, everyone, I get it. These thoughts are probably buzzing in your head all day, from when you wake up to when you hit the pillow at night. That's exactly why this next step is so important. Reverse your focus. All that energy you're pouring into thinking about them, it's just wearing you out. Stop letting yourself get stuck and holding back your progress. Seriously, think about it. Every minute you waste worrying about what they're up to, whether they're thinking of you or if they miss you, is a minute you're not focusing on yourself. You're giving away your time, peace, and energy to someone who's not even around. It's not just about kicking them out of your head, it's about reclaiming your own space. Just imagine what you could accomplish if you did. You shifted all that focus onto your own growth, passions, and dreams. Changing your focus doesn't mean ignoring what used to matter. It's about putting yourself first. Like the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, it's not that life is short, but that we waste so much of it. Every moment spent worrying about them is time taken away from investing in the one person who will always be there for you. Picture it like this. You've got a flashlight in a dark room, and for too long, you've been shining a light on them, making them the center of your world. But what if you turn that light back on yourself? You'd start to see parts of your life that need some care and healing. You'd notice things you could improve, dreams you could chase, and goals you've been putting off because you were too focused on someone else. Changing that focus isn't easy though. There's no magic button to make it happen right away. But here's the deal. It all starts with small, intentional steps. Whenever you catch yourself thinking about them, try to shift that thought to something you're thankful for or a goal you want to achieve. Swap out every thought of them with a plan for yourself. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be something like, today I'm going to focus on my fitness, or I'll spend some time learning that new skill I've been curious about. Sure, it takes some self-control, and you might find yourself wanting to check in on them or see what they're up to. But each time you do, just redirect your focus. Shift your focus back to yourself. You're building a strong habit of prioritizing yourself. Over time, this will feel natural, and you'll see that the need for their attention fades as your own goals and passions come to the forefront. If you struggle to stay focused on yourself, keep in mind that it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. Even if you can redirect your attention just half the time, you're still taking back control. Marcus Aurelius said that the happiness of your life depends on it. Think about how happy you could be if your thoughts matched up with your goals, values, and dreams. Here's a simple exercise. Every morning, jot down 3 things you want to achieve that day. Whenever your mind wanders, pull out that list, remind yourself what really matters, and refocus on the steps that will get you closer to your goals. That list is your anchor, a daily reminder that you're putting in the work for yourself. I'm all about my growth and my goals. Whenever your mind starts to drift, or you find yourself getting caught up in thoughts that don't help you, just remind yourself, I focus on my growth and my goals. If you're ready to commit, drop that in the comments. Let this be your mantra, something to help you center yourself and regain your focus. Now, let's dive into the next crucial step that you might have missed. Number 6. It's all about seeing things as growth. Got it? Totally start looking at this as a chance to grow. It's easy to see the no contact phase as a punishment, like you're just stuck waiting and worrying. But what if you flipped that perspective? Instead of seeing it as a painful break, think of it as a powerful time for growth. Every moment of silence and every urge to reach out can actually be a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Remember, real growth doesn't happen when you're comfy. It happens when you're pushed out of your comfort zone, facing challenges, and learning to adapt. You're in a spot where you're figuring out how to depend on yourself to create a life that isn't based on getting attention or approval from others. Like Marcus Aurelius said, what's in the way becomes the way. This no contact phase, as hard as it is actually your route to becoming the best version of yourself. Think of a seed buried underground. It's in the dark and under pressure. But that's exactly what it needs to grow. This time might feel tough and heavy, like you're in the dark, but it's actually laying the groundwork for your growth. Every day you hold back from reaching out. Every time you focus on yourself, you're digging your roots in deeper and building the strength you need to really thrive. Realizing this is all about growth means recognizing that your pain isn't for nothing. Every ache, every moment of longing reminds you of what you can handle. It shows you're ready to confront tough emotions without expecting someone else to make it better. And that's a big deal. You're showing yourself that you can handle it. Stay calm when things get tough, and that strength will help you in every part of your life. Some of you might be thinking, but I don't feel like I'm growing. I just feel stuck. And that's totally fine. Growth doesn't always feel like you're moving forward. It can often feel like you're struggling. Just because you can't see the changes happening doesn't mean they aren't there. Remember, even the strongest trees grow quietly underground, long before we see their leaves and branches. Trust that every time you hold back and choose what's best for you, it's making a difference. You're creating something real. The Stoic philosopher Epicurus once said that no great thing comes together overnight, just like grapes or figs. If you say you want a fig, I'll tell you it needs time to bloom, then produce fruit, and finally ripen. This is your time to bloom. Embrace a quiet period of growth. Understand that the strength you're building now will pay off later. If it's hard to see your progress, start small and think about how much stronger you've become. Think back to day one. Remember those little wins. Maybe there was a day you didn't check your phone, or a moment when you actually focused on a personal goal instead of worrying about others. Each of these steps counts as growth, even if it seems tiny. Here's a little affirmation for you. I grow stronger with every step. Say it, write it down, believe it. And if you're ready to embrace this growth, drop a comment. I grow stronger with every step. Let this remind you that this journey isn't just about getting to the finish line. It's about getting better along the way. Looking back at this phase, as growth shifts your mindset from just waiting to actually creating, and from just longing to building. You're not here to hit pause on your life. You're here to make changes. Stick with me, because every step you take builds on the one before it, getting you closer to a place of strength, peace, and purpose. The journey isn't over yet, and you're getting stronger with every choice you make. Number 7, focus on what you can control. All right, everyone, this is a game changer. Focus on what you can control. We all know that the only thing The only thing we really have control over is ourselves. You can't change how others feel when they'll get in touch or what they're doing with their time right now. But you can control your actions, your mindset, and your personal growth. Trust me, that's where your real power is. When you focus on what you can control, you stop wasting energy on stuff that's out of your hands. It feels freeing because it shifts your mindset from relying on others to feeling empowered. You're not sitting around waiting for someone else to tell you that you're valuable. Instead, you're working on yourself from the inside. Just think about how it would feel to take all that energy you used to spend on them and put it back into yourself. Now, you're focusing that energy on your goals, passions, and personal growth that actually make you happy. Picture this. When you don't rely on anyone else's approval and stay focused on your own development, you become unstoppable. Like Marcus Aurelius said, you have control over your mind, not what happens around you. Once you get that, you'll really start to see the change. The more you work on building your own strength, the less you'll let outside stuff get to you. You're crafting a life where your happiness doesn't depend on what others do or decide. And here's the coolest part. When you really invest in yourself and go all in on this mindset, something amazing happens. People are naturally attracted to those who don't need anyone else to be happy. They're drawn to those who radiate purpose and inner strength. And yeah, this change often makes them see things differently. Your worth makes them curious and sometimes even makes them come back. Because who's more attractive? Someone who's grounded, resilient, and confident, or someone who's just waiting and hoping? This isn't about playing games. It's about truly becoming the strongest, most self-sufficient version of yourself. Every time you find yourself thinking about them or stressing over what they're doing, shift your focus back to you. Set goals, pick up new hobbies, and work on improving yourself in ways you can actually see. Take charge of your actions, and you'll see your growth happen naturally. Here's a little affirmation for you. I focus on my power, not their actions. Repeat it to yourself whenever you catch your mind wandering to things you can't change. Write it down and drop it in the comments if you're ready to commit. Remember, your strength comes from how you control yourself, not how others react. This mindset shift can really change things for you because it frees you from waiting on others. When you stop seeking approval from others and focus on what you can actually control, you unlock a whole new level of empowerment. Seriously, it's the most solid and appealing place to be. Stick with me on this journey because every step you take gets you closer to a life where you're fully in charge, living with confidence and peace. And here's the big one. Turn your pain into power. This isn't just about moving on, it's about transforming your struggles into strength. It's all about taking every bit of hurt, disappointment, and longing and using it as fuel to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Trust me, when you learn to channel your pain like this, you're not just getting by, you're really thriving. That's what makes you stand out, what catches people's attention and helps them see your true value. Pain can teach you a lot if you let it. Right now, you might be holding on to emotions that are dragging you down, but instead of letting that pain pull you into a dark place, use it to create something meaningful. Think about it. Athletes do this all the time. Dealing with physical pain helps you break through barriers, just like artists channel emotional pain into their masterpieces, and entrepreneurs turn setbacks into motivation for success. You can do the same with the pain you're feeling right now. So, where do you begin? First, recognize the pain. Don't brush it off or push it aside. Sit with it, get to know it, and ask yourself what this experience is trying to teach you. Pain can reveal our deepest desires, fears, and strengths. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, challenges make us stronger. Let the tough times be your training ground, where you build mental strength and endurance. Every time you feel that ache of longing or the urge to reach out for what you've lost, use it as a cue to take action for yourself. Start working out, pick up a new hobby, or dive into something you've always wanted to try. You're not avoiding the pain, you're channeling it into something positive that helps you grow instead of breaking you down. Every step you take towards growing is a step towards turning that pain into your inner strength. Let's be honest though, this isn't a quick fix. Some days are going to be tougher than others, and that's totally fine. Just remember, change isn't about being perfect, it's about making progress. Every little choice you make to turn that pain into power is a win. It's about deciding to rise up, even on the hard days, even when all you want to do is throw in the towel. The more you channel your pain into growth, the less hold it has over you. You're no longer letting it control you. You're a master of your struggles, and honestly, that makes you super attractive. People are drawn to those who can turn their setbacks into strength, who won't let their challenges define them. When you transform pain into power, you shine with resilience, courage, and self-worth. That kind of energy commands respect and admiration. It makes people sit up and think, wow, how are they so strong? You're not out there seeking validation anymore. You're becoming someone truly admirable. Who needs approval to know their worth? What if the pain feels like too much? What if it's tough to find any strength in it? That's when you should start with small actions. Set one goal each day, even if it's just taking a walk, writing down your thoughts, or texting a friend. Each little step shows you that pain doesn't define you. You define it. As Epictetus said, it's not about what happens to you, but how you react to it that counts. You have a choice in how to respond to this pain. That's where your power is. Here's a little affirmation for you. I turn my pain into power. Say it to yourself every day and write it down if you want. If you're ready to commit to this change, drop it in the comments. I turn my pain into power. Let that be your declaration, a reminder that every struggle is just fuel for your growth. This is the moment everything shifts. You're not waiting for things to get easier or for someone else to give you the thumbs up. You're out there making yourself stronger. Using pain as a stepping stone, you can become a strong, empowered, and magnetic person. It's not just about surviving the no-contact phase. It's about creating a life filled with purpose, strength, and self-worth. So good that anyone would be lucky to be in it. That's it, everyone. I hope this video has given you the clarity and strength to get through this journey. If you could take a moment to like this video and subscribe, that would be great. Most of you watch, take the advice, and move on. But supporting the channel really helps. Let's help more people who need this message just like you. If you're looking for help, remember that every step you take towards self-growth makes you stronger and more resilient. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I can't wait to see you in the next transformative video. Until then, stay strong.